Now the problem with this whole situation of the self-powered speakers is everyone says, oh, they're so much easier. Well, are they really easier? With a self-powered speaker, you have to run power and a mic cable to each speaker. Okay? With non-powered speakers, you have an amplifier that you set back on the stage somewhere that you run power to that one amplifier, and from that you can run a mic cable 100 feet out a speaker cable from the amplifier 100 feet out if you need to. If you have self-powered speakers, you have to run a 100-foot mic cable and a 100-foot power cable to each speaker. Depending where you're trying to go with these. On stages, I've seen self-powered speakers for stage monitors work really well. But as far as in situations where you're not a DJ in a corner with two speakers and a sub, if you want any room to grow, you need to have, and as far as I'm concerned, non-powered speakers and an amplifier. Now I want to explain something to you real carefully here. Okay. Each speaker has an amplifier. You're buying an amp. The amp's in there. It adds a little bit of weight. Okay? $1,500 a speaker. List price on the 153s, the QSC 153s, is around $1,900 each. Alright. So you look at that and you say, okay, what can I get a QSC amplifier for? You can get a 2450 amplifier for $700. List cost. You shop around, you can find it for a lot less. And you can buy them used for $300. Okay, that's 2,400 watts. You bridge that, you got 2,400 watts into 4 ohms, okay? You have two 8-ohm speakers, you run them in parallel, you can get 1,200 watts per speaker with a 2,400 watt QSC amplifier. Now if you run one of these amplifiers in stereo mode, a QSC amplifier, and that's what I like. I like the QSC amplifiers. The QSC amplifier can run a 2 ohm load on one channel in stereo mode. Okay? That means that you can have 4 8-ohm speakers per channel. Okay? One QSC amplifier, the newer ones, the RMX series and the PLX and those types of amplifiers, can run 8 speakers. Now, if you know anything about speaker sound or you've got anything that you've experienced, if you run 8 speakers, you are getting a tremendous amount of volume and coverage. You can stack your speakers, you get a lot better definition. When I go out there and I do a big show, I actually have 4 speakers on each side. That's what I like to do, and that's I get outstanding compliments as far as my sound. With self-powered speakers, you have to buy a new speaker every time. $1,500, boom, $1,500, boom. For 4 speakers, you've got, you're talking $6,000 to have 4 self-powered speakers. And if you've got one amplifier that you bought used or whatever, let's say you spent $500 for it, and 3-way, like right now I'm using PV SP3 speakers, but there's many brands that have good speakers out there, 8-ohm speakers, 3-way speakers comparable to the same thing. You can actually get more power for the dollar. You can buy one of those for like $600, brand new, for a 3-way speaker, $600, $700. All right. So if you think about it, you can have 2 speakers for $1,200, and you can have an amplifier for the price of 1 self-powered speaker. So 1 amplifier, 2 speakers. Now you have 2 speakers. Think about that. You got 2 self-powered speakers. You were at $3,000. All right. Now we were talking 4 non-powered 3-way speakers and an amplifier, and you still come out ahead. Plus, when you're setting up your speakers, you just run a mic, I called it a mic cord last time. You run a speaker cord out there. So you run 1 speaker cord, you can daisy chain it to the next one, run another one, daisy chain it to the next one. You can change your speaker setups. I've got all different types of speakers that I use when I go out. I've got big speakers. I got like, PV. I got some SP4Gs, which are, 215s and a horn. I got a SP2G, which is just a 15 and a horn. I got a SP3G, which is a three-way speaker. I got some EV subs. If you got an amplifier, you can run subs off one leg of the amp, and you can run your mains off the other side of the amp. You can buy, you're talking $1,800 for a QSC single 18 subwoofer. Now, I like QSC products, and I have to say, as far as I'm concerned, compared to Mackie and everything else, my personal opinion is I think QSC kicks their butt. Their self-powered stuff sounds better than anything else. But I just wanted to go over this with you as far as what I think as far as self-powered speakers. I think if you are planning on being anything more than a corner DJ, that you need to have an amplifier, you need to have speakers, and you need to have an electronic crossover. Alright, I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to continue on here in just a little bit.